Once upon a time, in a quiet little village surrounded by green fields, lived a boy named Aarav. Aarav was clever, kind of hard, but he had one bad habit. He worried about everything. If the day was too hot, he'd sigh, "How can anyone work in this heat?" If his teacher gave homework, he'd groan, "This is impossible." If his mother asked for help, he'd mutter, "Why is everything so hard for me?" Little by little, Aarav's complaints grew, and people began to avoid him, because no one likes being around someone who only sees problems. One evening, Aarav's father finally grew tired of hearing him complain. He said, "Come with me, son. I want to show you something." They walked together until they reached a small, still pond. The air was calm. Aarav's father handed him a handful of salt and said, "Throw this in." Aarav did. "Now taste the water," said his father. Aarav sipped and immediately spat it out. "It's so bitter." His father only smiled. Then he gave him another handful of salt and led him to a wide river nearby. "Now throw it here." Aarav tossed the salt into the river. "Now taste again," said his father. Aarav cupped his hands, drank, and looked up in surprise. "It tastes fresh." His father nodded gently. "Son, the salt is like life's problems. It will always be there, but how much it affects you depends on the size of your heart. If your heart is small like the pond, every problem will make your life bitter. But if your heart is wide like the river, you'll hardly feel the bitterness at all." That night, Aarav couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the pond and the river. He whispered to himself, "If I stay like the pond, I'll always suffer. But if I become like the river, I can handle anything." From the next morning, he began to change, little by little. When his teacher gave him extra homework, he didn't complain. He thought, "This is how I'll get better." When his mother asked for help, he smiled, "This will make me stronger." Even under the hot sun, he said, "This is just another test. I can face it." At first, it was hard. The old habits tried to pull him back. But every time, he remembered his father's words and pushed forward. Weeks turned into months, and something beautiful happened. Aarav changed. He was calmer, kinder, stronger. People noticed. His teacher praised him, his friends liked being around him again, and his parents were proud. But most of all, Aarav felt peace inside. One evening, as the sun painted the sky golden, Aarav sat by the river, watching it flow endlessly. He smiled softly and whispered, "Problems are like salt, they never go away. But if I grow like the river, they'll never make me bitter again." So my friends, remember this. Life will always bring challenges. Some days will be hard, some nights will feel long. But the answer isn't to complain. The answer is to grow bigger. Because problems don't shrink, we grow. And when we grow, every problem becomes small. So whenever you feel stuck, just ask yourself, am I being the pond or the river, water wave?